Good afternoon, Salty Sky here. Testing out this new Mac I got, seeing if it's better than my phone, because I got a few comments saying that my phone looks weird on there. Today we're going to be discussing Filipina women. All right, so I think I should start with my references, okay? First off, I lived overseas 11 years, all right? And upon them 11 years, I've actually dated plenty of Filipino women. All right, now there's going to be a lot of negatives in here. So I'm going to start off with the positives. Okay, there are good Filipino women out there. There are plenty of Filipino women out there. The problem is where you're looking. All right, the majority of Filipino women on dating sites are there because they know that Americans have money, and even if we feel poor, they think that to them they have money because the average salary in the Philippines is $300 American a month. Okay, and if you look at the housing and stuff like that, it's still pretty high. If you haven't been to the Philippines in many years, something that also has changed is the Torte. The Torte has boosted the economy a lot. So it's actually more expensive now to travel in the Philippines. All right, it's still not quite as expensive as the States, but when you go there, you're kind of like a celebrity. And many things guys will experience with Filipino women in the Philippines, they wouldn't experience in the States unless they're like a celebrity or the rich. Um, so it catches a lot of guys off guard because they go after these girls that they think are good girls and are not. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a few ways to know like red flags. All right, it's not always 100% correct. It's not always bad, but like there's some red flags. Okay, um, first red flag. All right, is how she dresses. All right, the Philippines in general is a very conservative country. So Filipino women don't tend to dress promiscuous unless not promiscuous. They don't dress like provocative. All right, that's the word I was looking for. Unless they're kind of promiscuous kind of ladies. Now there are exceptions to every rule, but if you're seeing a girl and she's dressing really sexy, most Filipinos know that she gets around. All right, and they treat her like that. If she's dressing like really conservative and stuff like that, that doesn't mean that she's a good girl because many bad girls everywhere in the world act like good girls to take advantage of men. But dressing provocatively is a red flag. Not always, it doesn't always mean that the girl is a bad girl, but it's a red flag. Second red flag, if she hangs out or knows about Burgess Street, like hangs out on Burgess Street, all right, so most good Filipino women will stay far away from Burgess Street because they know what it is. They know it's the red light district. They don't want to be caught dead there. All right, so if this Filipino girl is hanging around Burgess Street, that's another red flag. That's two flags. All right, if they're doing both, so you might want to be careful around her. Second, if you're on a dating site and the girl says, my mama's sick or my cousin's sick and I need money, more often than not, they're just trying to get money from you. I mean, there are some cases when their aunt is sick and they need help, and it's sad. It's very sad that Filipino women take advantage of this so that the good girls who actually need money don't see it. But it happens. So if they're asking for money, all right, then that's a third red flag or another red flag, depending on what side you're on. Let's see. If they like to play games, if they like to, like there's a lot of videos I see on Filipino women saying that, a Filipino woman would act like she's mad because, they want to get you to confess and everything, so they stop talking to you. So you go, oh, I'm so sorry, and is it this, is it this, is it this, is it this? And most of the good Filipino women I've dated, I've never experienced that. Not once. So that girl is probably a playgirl. If she's playing games with you, probably a playgirl. That's another red flag. All right. I know that a lot of people will probably disagree with me on that, but it's true. Let's see. Bathing suits. What I've noticed when I was in the Philippines, when I was dating Philippines and Japan and stuff like that, that most good Filipino women are wearing a one piece or they got a shirt over. They're not like showing their body. So if your girl has several like two-piece bikinis and all that, that's another red flag. It does not mean that, she gets around or anything like that, but it's a red flag. It means that she could. So just be careful. Uh, let's see, what else? What else have I noticed? All right. Um, Lots of guy friends. All right, that's everywhere in the world. If the girl has plenty of guy friends, that's a red flag. All right. Um, but so just be careful, okay? Because um, I've talked to a lot of Filipinos, Filipinas, and they think America is way different than it is because just like in many Asian and foreign countries, what they see on TV, what they see in movies, they see all these actors and these rich houses and stuff on movies, and they think that that's how America is. Like I am constantly getting in arguments with Filipino friends and Japanese friends. Like, no, that's not America. We don't all live in two-story houses. We don't all have really nice cars. There's a lot of us that are poor. There are a lot of us that are struggling. Like they don't believe whenever I was a kid, whenever I got when I was younger, not a kid, that when I got full custody of my daughter, that I went many a nights without food because, I didn't make that much at work and I was overqualified for any help from the government. So they're like, no, there's no way. You're an American. You live in a two-story house. You're rich. And I'm like, no, man, like, I'm not rich by any means. Maybe to you, I got a little bit more money, but I struggle every day. Um, they just don't believe it because they're like, well, what I see on movies, what I see on TV is different. So it's hard for them to understand that not everybody in America is rich, and it's hard. And many of them are after money. Not even if they're not after money, they're looking. A lot of them are looking for like love with a guy with a foreigner, not necessarily American, but like you're, one of the top countries, first world countries, because they think they're gonna live good. All right. They're gonna live well off. Okay, and that's what a lot of them are. Now, like I said in the beginning, there are very, very many good girls. All right. I have friends that didn't lose their virginity till they're 20, 30, 40. I have friends who, only they're over 35 years and they're Filipina and they've only slept with like four people. All right. So there's a lot of people who are saying all Filipino women are whores, all Filipino women are slutty, all Filipino women only want money. That's not true. All right. There are some good Filipino women out there. I want to make sure that is 100% correct. I mean, 100% understandable. Um, I have dated plenty of good Filipino women. All right. I've dated plenty of bad Filipino women pretending to be good Filipino women. All right. Um, and there's no black and white 100% I guaranteed way to know that your girl is a good girl. All right. But like I said, red flags. All right. Does she dress promiscuously? Like, does she dress provocatively? Sorry, I keep saying promiscuously. Does she flirt with a lot of guys? All right. Does she play games with you? Emotional games like, push and pull. All right. Does she ask for money? Does she ask you to buy her a lot of stuff? Uh, you know, a lot of even Filipina and Thai women get guys to buy them houses, and then they break up with them and they got a free house. A lot of Filipino women get Americans and, Canadians and Japanese to marry them, and then the Canadian Japanese men find out that they're married and that they've been sending money home to their husband and their kids. All right. That happens. It's actually quite common in the Philippines, even though it's illegal for people to have multiple marriages. So you got to be careful with that. All right. You might want to do a government checkup and see if she or him, she is married before you marry her. Just to make sure. It is incredibly hard to get an annulment or even a divorce. I haven't even heard of how to get a divorce yet, but it takes many years to get an annulment, and it's really hard. So, like, it costs a lot of money. Like, I have a friend who is trying to get an annulment, and she said it's going to be 3 years, and it's going to be something like 20,000 pesos, which is crazy expensive over there. Remember, the average person over there makes 300 American dollars a month, which is about what's that? Let's see. It's about 15,000 pesos. What, 1,500 pesos a month? Hold on, let me. It's it's around that 300 times 52. All right. So uh, just be careful. All right. Many Americans, many foreigners actually go to Philippines and they just want to pay women to love them. And if you're one of those guys that want to pay someone to love you and you're happy with that, you want to provide her, with money, and then they love you based on money. That is you, and there are plenty of women like that out there. If you're looking for love, like me, you're looking for a good girl to be in love with and not care about money and be loyal to and honest to. That's hard to find everywhere in the world. Trust me. Um, but it's there too. All right. If you're one of those tourists that want to travel to the Philippines to get cheap sex, you could go down to Burgess Street and they cost anything from 2,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos, depending on how young and how pretty you want them. And that's up to you too. All right, you could do the math and see how that's actually pretty cheap considering other places. All right, it's not my thing. All right, like I want a good girl, uh, but just be careful. The Philippines is getting more expensive because Duterte is doing amazing things with the economy. I'm staying out of politics, like him, hate him or not. He has made the economy a lot better. So, like, one thing I noticed when I went to the Philippines is like shampoo and certain things are expensive. Houses are really expensive. I don't understand. I was talking to them, and I don't understand how they live. Like I talked to a girl, and most of the girls in the Philippines live like 5 to 6 to a house, and I'm not talking about a 5 bedroom house. I'm talking about a 2, 3 bedroom house. There's like apartment, condo. There's like 5, 6, 7 of them living there. So don't expect if you hook up with a girl and you fall in love to be going to her place, because the majority of them don't live alone. They either live with family or they live with a lot of roommates. All right. So when you're on a dating with the Filipino women, you're gonna probably want to get a hotel room. A good place. Most hotels allow guests. They ain't gonna stop you and be like, hey, you got a guest. Oh my God. You know, um, there's plenty of good places to visit in the Philippines. I'll get into raiding cities and all that later, but this one's about women. I'm sorry I kind of went off topic. Uh, I'll probably do another video a little bit more clear later on, but just be careful out there if you're looking for love. Be careful out there if you're paying for women. It's not me to judge what you do. Just be careful. It's not good to be taken advantage of. If you like this video, please like this video and please subscribe. I promise you I'm gonna get better. And Salty Sky out.